Greek philosophers quotes with context and explanation. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Epictetus. Epictetus believed that the pursuit of self-improvement requires humility and a willingness to accept criticism and feedback. He argued that by being open to learning from our mistakes and shortcomings, we can become better versions of ourselves. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. Socrates. Like Plutarch, Socrates believed that education is not just about memorizing facts and figures, but also about igniting a passion for knowledge and inquiry. He argued that a true education is one that inspires curiosity and a love of learning. Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. Plato. Plato believed that wisdom comes from thoughtful reflection and careful consideration, rather than simply talking for the sake of talking. He argued that those who speak only to hear their own voices are not truly wise. The more one knows, the more one realizes how little one knows. Aristotle. Aristotle believed that the pursuit of knowledge is an endless journey, and that the more we learn, the more we recognize how much we still have to discover. He argued that true wisdom comes from recognizing our own limitations and the vastness of the unknown. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. Plato. Plato believed that our perceptions of reality are not always reliable, and that what we perceive as real may in fact be an illusion or a product of our own minds. He argued that true understanding comes from questioning our assumptions and seeking to see beyond the surface appearance of things. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Socrates. Socrates is famous for his assertion that he knows nothing, and this quote reflects his belief that true wisdom comes from recognizing the limits of our own knowledge. He argued that by acknowledging our own ignorance, we open ourselves up to learning and growth. It is not that I am so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. Albert Einstein. Einstein's quote reflects his belief in the importance of persistence and perseverance in solving complex problems. He argued that success is not necessarily about intelligence or talent, but about putting in the time and effort to overcome challenges. Happiness depends upon ourselves. Aristotle. Aristotle believed that happiness is not something that can be given to us by external circumstances, but something that we create for ourselves through our own choices and actions. He argued that by cultivating positive habits and attitudes, we can increase our own sense of well-being. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus. Epictetus believed that our experiences in life are shaped not by what happens to us, but by how we respond to those experiences. He argued that by cultivating a sense of inner calm and resilience, we can overcome adversity and find meaning and purpose in our lives. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle. Aristotle believed that our character and abilities are shaped by our habits and behaviors. He argued that by consistently practicing positive behaviors and striving for excellence, we can achieve our goals and live a fulfilling life. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Steve Jobs. Although not a philosopher in the traditional sense, Steve Jobs' ideas about the importance of passion and creativity in work reflect the Greek idea of eudaimonia, or living a fulfilling and purposeful life. He argued that by pursuing work that we are passionate about, we can achieve great things and find meaning in our lives. The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates. This quote from Socrates is perhaps one of the most famous in all of philosophy. He argued that the pursuit of self-knowledge and reflection is essential to living a meaningful and fulfilling life. By questioning our assumptions and examining our own values and beliefs, we can better understand ourselves and the world around us. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Edmund Burke. Edmund Burke's quote reflects the idea that in order to create positive change in the world, we must take action against injustice and wrongdoing. He argued that simply standing by and doing nothing allows evil to flourish, and that it is our duty as moral agents to stand up for what is right. You cannot step into the same river twice. Heraclitus. Heraclitus believed that the world is constantly changing and in flux, and that nothing remains the same from one moment to the next. This quote reflects his belief that we can never fully experience the same thing twice, as everything is constantly in a state of change. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Plato. Plato believed that true wealth and happiness come not from material possessions or external circumstances, but from finding contentment in simple pleasures and a life of moderation. He argued that by embracing a simple and unassuming lifestyle, we can free ourselves from the anxieties and stresses of materialism.